Hello, Scorpio. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Scorpio is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment. Consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. These readings are totally free. If there is anything you would like me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Scorpio, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And we start with the Chariot. The Chariot is a card of discipline, okay, self-control, commitment, loyalty, devotion. Sometimes it's a card that is kind of talking about our environment, our family environment. You know, do we feel supported in the life that we're leading? Do we feel as if we have what it takes to continue our journey? You know, it's hard for somebody to go out on their quest when they feel like they're leaving a lot of problems at home. You know what I mean? It's kind of a movie trope, I guess, you know, where somebody doesn't want to set out on their journey because there's so many unresolved things at home that we can't go out and live the life that we need to live. Sometimes we do it anyway. Sometimes that's kind of the message there, is that we're leaving behind all of this unresolved stuff. And it may be necessary to leave it there. Maybe there is no resolution to some of these things. So I kind of feel like your journey came to a pause right now, right? I feel like that there is either there's a need to resolve certain issues, or there's a need to move on from them, which, I mean, kind of the same thing in the end, right? So I want to look deeper into this card for you and see, you know, what it is that you're devoted to. What is it that is, what are we kind of in service to, right? Because the Chariot card to me makes me feel like you're the vehicle of your own destiny. And sometimes, you know, we kind of have a difficult time. It's like somebody that knows they have to go off to college or something, but they're leaving behind all of this difficult stuff at home, and it kind of makes them feel like they have to sacrifice their journey to stay home and fix the stuff, right? And that's kind of, I mean, I'm sure we've all seen movies like that. But let's put some more cards out on the table here. We have a doorway to the future. We sure do. We have a 5 of Cups. We have the High Priestess. We have the Hanged Man. Interesting. And we have a Queen of Cups. I feel like there is some kind of feeling here is kind of rising up, and this is becoming more prominent, something that's growing within you. It may be kind of an emotion that we've buried a little bit. Okay, it's a hidden feeling here. Okay, we have an Ace of Pentacles, we have a 3 of Swords, we have the 8 of Wands. And we've got the Fool. Well, the Fool is off on their journey. Wow, okay. So I like that. That's really cool, because we were talking about the Chariot kind of being stuck, like feeling like I got to go on with my journey, but there's some unresolved stuff that's kind of like making me feel almost like the Hanged Man, like I got to sacrifice my journey. Sacrificing my quest because I got to stay home and deal with this stuff. It's like, it's the kid that doesn't want to go off to college because there's trouble at home. Whereas you see in a different way, because there's trouble at home, I'm going to go off on my journey. I'm going to go off to college. I can't wait to get out of here, right? And so you see kind of two alternatives. There's trouble at home, right? Well, there's the 5 of Cups. This is inside here. There's the 5 of Cups. And so this is either I'm going to run away from this and go to college, or I need to stay home and fix this. I have to sacrifice college. And we'll see stories, movies, literature, and stuff that maybe depicts both of these options. And I think that there's a reason why we see those sort of tropes in movies and literature and things, because it's kind of like it's almost like the ultimatum of adulthood. It's just like, does the adult leave home and start their own life and do their own adventure? Do they sacrifice their own journey because they got to stay and fix the problems at home, fix the wounds of the family, so to speak, right? Very very deep subject right here. Let's select a mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot, the factor infinite and unknown. We're going to set Tiny Bob Ross right on top. Happy little card. We are not going to look at that card until the very end, but it will tie everything together. Will give us the confirmation that we need at the end of the reading, okay? If you have a prediction, put it in the comments. We see a lot of major arcana, don't we? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 major arcana, and this is a big deal for you. This is an existential moment, okay? This is a critical moment in your life. It is a turning point. It is a decision. Do I go through the doorway into my future, or do I stay here and deal with what's going on here? This is that choice that we all make in life, Some of us can't wait to run from our home troubles, from the problems of the family, so to speak. Maybe symbolic, but could be talking generational stuff. I'm looking at these cards. I can't help but feel like someone from your past, they never moved on from you. I feel like they pretended to let you go, but their energy still is kind of clinging to you. And maybe you've been you've been thinking about this person more, or dreaming about them, or getting some sort of signs or some sort of reminders of their energy. And that might be kind of what we're like, do I kind of return to that and fix that? Or nope, I'm moving on, right? And so this is the moment here. Are we taking our chariot through this doorway? Or are we going to return to something? Okay, I don't know who this person was. It could very well be that they were a Cancer person. But I feel like their unresolved feelings for you are somehow making their way into your psychic life, right, with our High Priestess in the background here, okay? And it may be that they have recently reached out to you to tell you this sort of thing, or you feel like that's kind of what's going on. Like, I don't feel that there's been any direct communication yet, but I feel like somehow that that's what happened. Like, I don't know if it's through dreams or just intuition, or maybe they have dropped some hints or something like that, okay? But anyway, a lot of majors. We've got fire. We've got, definitely have our water. A little bit of air. And just a little bit of earth energy. Just a little bit. Okay. Part of our Hanged Man is this idea of sacrifice, right? Suffering, sacrifice. And it's really, I think that's the nature of the question right now. Going through that doorway, taking our chariot through the door of the Eon card into the future would basically be us refusing to sacrifice our destiny, refusing to give up on our dream, right? Refusing to stay tied to the past, okay? I always say that it looks like the High Priestess and the Hanged Man are holding hands, right? And I tell you, every time I hold these two cards up to the camera, I end up getting a strike on YouTube because of, they're not wearing any clothes, okay? So I'll probably get dinged for this one too, but that's okay. I think it's important that we realize that this is something tied together. This could be even the idea of a soul contract. Okay? And it's up to us whether we're trying to let go of this or if we're still holding on. Okay? And maybe this is kind of like, do I sacrifice the fool's journey, the hero's journey, my quest, my destiny, to stay connected here, to continue holding on to this? Do I go back to this? Do I yield to this? Right? It's almost going back to the past. So in some ways, we might be blocking our own future here. Or there could be guilt or fear, something, conditioning. Okay. Sometimes the Hanged Man is even because of fear or challenging upbringing or because of our past and our history and things. We might feel kind of scared of following our creative gifts, following our creative potential, or even like the Fool kind of going off and living their own life, having their own adventure, may feel selfish. We may feel guilty for leaving the problems of the family and going off to college, metaphorically speaking. Okay. And there could be something like literally relating to the family. Sometimes the Chariot card and the High Priestess, they might be talking about even a family secret, some kind of an ancestral pattern or an unspoken wound that is shaping your decisions. Okay, that's influencing whether or not you're going through this doorway. You might be repeating a life path or a relationship dynamic that isn't yours, that didn't originate with you. Okay, and I think that we're trying to answer some of these questions and recognize some of this stuff. I am getting that soul contract kind of vibe, especially between these two. Okay, it may be that you've served your purpose here, and that's why the High Priestess is in the background. You served your purpose in this connection, and it could be a job, relationship, belief system, and hanging on to this is preventing you from moving forward through this doorway. This is a doorway of fire. This is a doorway that says you can't bring everything with you. We've got to make a decision of what is no longer serving us. We got to leave all the BS behind if we're going to go through this doorway. And on the other side, of course, is freedom and our future and our dream, our adventure. Yeah. And maybe you're the one that's meant to break this cycle. Maybe this is the time. Maybe the High Priestess wants you to pull your hands away, to let go, right? Maybe she's trying to let go of you here. Okay. But the five of Cups underneath everything, this is the turbulent emotions. So I feel kind of torn. Should I stay or should I go? What am I in service to? Things don't feel so cut and dry right now. The water's getting a little murky. It's kind of like there's a mixed blessing here. I feel like I want to go through this doorway and break with the past and break away from those things and kind of leave those things behind. But I feel guilty for going forward. I feel guilty for living my life. But of course, the Hanged Man, staying hanged, is not feeling that good either. Okay? So I think we know that clinging to the past is not helping us, that we're feeling the Five of Cups anyway. So the Five of Cups may be really the important thing here that we need to pay attention to. It's something buried under the surface. And we have to look at it to understand. Three of Swords, understanding. Even though it's painful, I want to understand it. I want to look at it and find out why I feel this way. Why am I hesitating before going off and living this next part of my adventure? Maybe the doorway of fire here is you leveling up your life. Moving on from something. Why is it difficult to move on? Okay? Why is there a challenge in this situation? Why does it feel like I've got to stay behind and fix something or deal with something or get some resolution or heal somebody or, and it's kind of like that ex-lover that we kind of feel like they still have feelings. They never got over us. So it's almost like, why am I feeling like I should revisit that? Doesn't mean we're going to go back to them or get back involved with them again or something, but why do I feel like I have to move, I'm having trouble moving on from that? Maybe we were all set to go until we started getting these clues that they haven't moved on from us. And so now it's like, well, maybe I shouldn't move on from them either. Like, it's a weird tie. It's a weird kind of connection there. Okay. But this is a divine doorway. Let's do one of our divine doorway cards. I feel like we need a little encouragement here. Your divine doorway says, Anthony's call, in thanks of my spirit safe and sound, all things that are lost, so can be found. Well, that might literally be the name of the game here. Maybe we feel as if that past thing that what I'm kind of feeling is like an ex-lover, or maybe it's a friend, maybe it's somebody that was in our history that there was a strong emotional connection to. Maybe we kind of feel like we're thinking about them more, or dreaming about them, or getting some kind of synchronicity, or some kind of clues about them, right? Maybe that's making us feel like we can regain something that we felt we lost. You know, maybe I'm experiencing as like they still think about you. They haven't quite let you go. They never quite moved on from you. Maybe that perception, I don't know if that's true or not, but that's kind of the feeling we have. And if we feel that, maybe we realize like, hey, I can get them back. You know, maybe that story can continue. And maybe the Chariot wants to turn around and say, I need that. Maybe that's what I meant to do, is go back and live that story again. You know, going through the doorway, making this decision, maybe it's kind of like, are we going to get into a new relationship? Are we going to cut ties with this and not go back and revisit this energy, and instead choose to move forward and start something new? But see, this card, this doorway, is asking us, the things that we feared were lost, can they be rediscovered? In other words, can we get that thing back? Because I don't know what that relationship was. I don't know if like you broke up with them, or maybe they broke up with you, but like now you're realizing that they haven't quite moved on. They still kind of want you back. And maybe you're thinking, I can continue that story. I can continue with that path, right? We're thinking now maybe that we can regain what we've lost. Okay. Going through the doorway will lead us to the Queen of Cups. And to me, the Queen of Cups it's really the way forward is for you to really search your soul deep down and find out what exactly is going on, what is blocking our path toward our future. And maybe it is just this kind of guilt of moving on, this kind of fear of the future, this worry about leaving behind unresolved stuff. You know, whether it's the relationship or the family kind of secret thing, or the ancestral stuff. I wonder if we're searching ourselves deep down and we're realizing that how I really feel deep in my soul, right? Queen of Cups, water and water, really deep waters. And the essence of this situation, am I realizing that I'm using these various things as a reason to not move forward in life? It's not that Spirit wants you to go back and, oh, that was meant for you. You got to go rediscover what you'd lost. Maybe we're using those various things as a way to anchor us so that we don't have to move on. We don't have to go forward and face the uncertain adventure of the Fool. So maybe we realize that, no, it's not about me needing to turn around and go back to this. In fact, it's this perception, these dreams, synchronicities, clues, the hints, whatever this really is. Maybe these are here to recognize, or to show us kind of where we've been feeling stuck, showing us not what we need to go back to and cling to, but rather what the Hanged Man needs to let go of. So the Hanged Man can kind of do like a backflip here and become the fire dancer, right? Shout out to Dave Matthews. Can be the fire dancer, can be the Fool, can be liberated, right? Yeah, we just turn the Hanged Man upside down, right? Or right side up, however you want to look at it. But first we have to go down into the depths of this water and really realize, what have we been clinging to? And maybe starting to be convinced that this is where I'm supposed to go. I got to turn my chariot around, right? It's like, give me one reason and I'll turn the chariot around. And we're looking for anything. So we might be even finding a lot of clues that then will say, okay, that's it. I got to stay. My family needs me. My friend needs me. This relationship is not over. I got to stay here. So we're facing our fears, and you're recognizing that these are things that you must release your grip and go through this doorway. And, we're going to start that adventure, right? So we've got the Ace of Pentacles here on the path of the Serpent. By the way, if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. Readings are totally free. This is us taking the first definite step. This is the beginning of a new path, and I think taking the first step is the most difficult. We're being given the gift of an opportunity. It's kind of like, Spirit is showing us the doorway. Like literally saying, you have the gift of a doorway. You have the gift of moving forward into a new future and creating your life and leveling up and having these new experiences, whatever it is for you, job, school, career, vocation, whatever your quest is. Spirit's giving you the gift of a doorway and saying, you can go through it if you want. That's my gift to you, is this open door. But to go through it, you've got to let go of some things. Yeah. And so then the Hanged Man kind of becomes, okay, what are we willing to let go of in order to have the future that we really want, to live our life, to go on this adventure, which it's an uncertain adventure anyway. It's the Fool. The Fool is free of all entanglements. The Fool is not clinging to anything. The Fool has let go of everything, is floating through time and space, ready for that adventure, ready to find. It doesn't have a sword yet. The Fool isn't carrying a sword. It's not a knight yet. It's not really on a quest yet. It has let go of everything it thought it was. It is ready for the quest. This is someone who's ready for the quest. So the next step from this would be an Ace of Swords, maybe the mystery card. We'll see. But to get to that point, we've got a Three of Swords. We've got to recognize what we should let go of. How have we been blocking our own power? Is it fear? Is it guilt? Is it conditioning? Okay. Are we kind of like, burying a part of our authentic self? The Three of Swords is very much a card of memory of the past, still haunting our present. Something from long ago is preventing us from moving on, and we keep repeating the same thing. We keep going over it and over and over again. And this might be that relationship. This might be some family ancestral kind of, patterns, generational stuff. Maybe we're meant to really break this cycle and recognize what this is. This is the card in the position of your relationships. It's your relationship with the past. Are you clinging to it? Is it still affecting you in a negative way? Is it influencing your decisions? Is it an unspoken wound that is shaping your decisions? This is talking about your relationship with the past and what we might need to let go of in order to move forward. Now, we have a little bit of anxiety in this position. This is the position of the obstacle, right? And to me, this feels like a burst of energy. It feels like a surge of creativity it's light that's spreading out in all directions. It's just a starburst. That's what this is. It's a starburst. It's a fireworks, right? And to me, this is kind of like a Band-Aid that's just coming right off. It's liberation, right? I feel like there is this sort of soul contract for you thing that's about to end. Like your role somewhere is done. We don't need to cling to it. We can have this burst of freedom. This is like the energy. This is the energy that's released when two things that are holding tight to each other just let go, right? And that's the Fool. I kind of feel like the Fool is floating in outer space, has been clinging to the handle of the airlock, right? And just kind of lets go. And it's just that I don't know, the energy that's released in the letting go, and the Fool just sort of drifts away. And it's kind of a bittersweet. It almost feels like the ending of a movie, of a really good sci-fi film, right? And it's just sort of slowly floating away. And it's just sort of it's symbolic of just a full release. That I can't, as much as I cling to it and try to swim after it, I'm in the vacuum of space. It's futile. I can't cling to it. I can't try to swim back to it because there's no air in space, right? There's no friction. There's nothing to swim in. So to me, it feels like we're going through that doorway and we're having that release that is... to me, it sort of seems final, And the Fool, I think, is ready. The Fool is now just floating, free, and it's sort of accomplished that release. It's cleared the way. It's let go. It's not clinging to anything. It's not trying to. It's not scrambling to get a hold of something. It's accepting this sort of this release and this freedom. Is ready for adventure. Yeah, ready for adventure. And this to me feels like we're breaking a cycle and we're ready to begin a new one. Yeah, and maybe you always suspected that there was something different about you, that you're meant for something great, and you're right. You're right. I expect the mystery card to be the Wheel of Fortune. I expect it to be, I don't know, 9 or a 10 of Pentacles, maybe an Ace of Cups. What else? Maybe the Ace of Swords, right? To give to the Fool, to make the Fool, instead of just an innocent fool, to now be the Knight of the Holy Grail, right? And maybe it'll be a Knight of Cups, something similar. If you have a prediction, though, put it in the comments. Let's see. Oh, the Death card. The Death card is your superpower card. This is the card that is associated with the sign of Scorpio. This is the Scorpio card. This is your truest self. This is your destiny. This is you becoming who you're meant to become. The Fool now, the one who has let go of everything, is now able to formulate their highest and truest and best self. The Death card is also the card of what? Of letting go of the past, recycling that energy, and applying it toward the future. So by letting go, by clearing the space, by detaching ourselves from things, it doesn't mean that that energy is gone. What it means is that we've reclaimed it. All the energy that we've put into clinging to this energy has been liberated. Okay, and when you liberate energy, that energy is kind of going back into the ether. It's going to be recycled. The Death card is the great recycler, right, of the universe. Nothing is wasted. Things expire and decay, and their energy, their elements are reabsorbed and built into something else. So all the energy we spent clinging to this is now energy we're going to spend building up our true selves, building up our true destiny, living our lives, building up the things that we want, the good things in life, you know, for our highest good. This is the card of slow and steady progress moving forward. This is a card that says we cannot go back to the past. Things are in our rearview mirror. Going back to the past is not going to, it's not possible to do it. We may be repeating cycles, but every time we come back to something, it's different. It's changed again, you know? And I think that maybe we're realizing that I can't keep doing that. That maybe I do that a lot. I revisit the same things over and over again and expecting them to maybe have the same value or the same meaning or have the same feeling, but they don't, right? And so that's part of our Three of Swords too, recognizing our relationship with the past and how we need to perhaps recycle some of that energy. No experience is wasted. Everything that you've ever been through has gone into creating who you are. And let's use that now. You've been given a gift of a kind of a new chance or a new opportunity or an open doorway. I think this is a very, very strong confirmation. Now we're going to do an extended reading. We'll do an I Ching hexagram. We'll do some oracle cards. There is a link up top. There's a link down below. New readings for Scorpio on Wednesdays and Saturdays. Be sure to watch both readings. I'm here every day, 6 a.m. Chicago time. Just come see me again tomorrow. All right. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Leave a comment and let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we're all in this together.